Hello, folks. Welcome to our presentation. We have developed an app called eProduct Selection System. Alphabetically, all the contributors are Ata Jarofti, Paresh Barbar, Harsh Patel, and Jin Jongyu.
So first of all, why did we choose this system? When we are buying a product, we need to spend a lot of time choosing it and doing our research. If we want to make a good decision based on our idea of the ideal product, this is the best system for you. There are too many different choices when it comes to buying new products, especially considering the fast-paced development of devices related to technology. Also, there are a lot of false information over the internet, and most comments are too personal and not specific. If we did manage to avoid the wrong information, how are we going to understand all the technicalities of a product that we need to buy? Most people tend to make mistakes when they are choosing a product that they aren't familiar with. So, we chose this system to reduce the stress and anxiety of consumers who are not aware of different technologies, but still want to purchase them as they deem it essential for their daily lives.
System capabilities. What will this system do? Our system capabilities contains of several factors that are mentioned here. We offer the best product recommendation based on your answers in the fastest and most accurate way possible. We can say this system is somehow a smart search engine that tries to personalize your searching experience based on your answers. You can have the best product in your hands without knowing any technical or unrelated information for you. This results in spending less time on searching for the best product and reading and understanding information and concepts that you don't have time for and are not necessary for you to know. You can improve our search algorithms and AI by giving feedbacks to the system for each survey that you take. Our feedback subsystem then captures these feedbacks and try to apply the best improvements and enhancements to the search engine for better results in future. Users can activate a feature to get notified for any future changes in their previous survey results. This is the outcome of our previous feature, which is applying feedbacks to our search engine for improvement and enhancements. So, to summarize everything, our system capabilities are recommending best products for people with specific needs in the fastest and most accurate way possible, get what you want without knowing what you want, being able to improve future search results by giving feedbacks, and also updating final results regularly and notifying the user. Approaching to system analysis and design. We first tried to do a preliminary investigation based on comments and complaints that we could find over the internet about not being able to find the correct product. Users are frustrated with this problem and a solution is needed for this matter. After that, we studied the similar systems that already exist over the internet and tried to identify their weaknesses and lack of features. Then we tried to identify our project scope and all the requirements for our system. We used analyzing strategies to make our system analysis work. As you can see in this slide, you can see that we had preliminary investigation, and after that study similar systems, identify weaknesses, and identify project scope and requirements.
What we have learned in the class. We have learned how to make SRS documentation circulated before the application is made that describes everything about the application, including what it needs to have, what it needs to do, what it's intended for, and what are the main functions, what are the functional requirements, and what are the non-functional requirements. We have also learned about diagrams such as UML, class, and sequence diagram, as well as great deal about designs. It is used by developers because it allows them to make the best decisions about what to do and when to do it. Before that, we learned several processes such as waterfall model, prototyping, and the unified process model, among others. The spiral model was utilized. We combined the iterative nature of prototyping with a methodical and regulated approach. We planned everything and wrote it down, then communicated and went over the entire process to see what worked and what didn't. We must discuss everything we intend with all of the group members, and we must choose the one of that best suits us. The agile development method was also used. Every week we had a meetings. Some of us in our group have professional experience and we have seen tried to help each other in the group. We have helped each other when we are having problems with something, which demonstrates how the development team works together and how the development process goes and works, as well as how we employed the Scrum process flow. We have also created a preliminary design before starting the project so that we could identify the important scenarios. Following that, we built the application overview. We created documentation based on the example and link it to our own thoughts. We devised challenges, discussed them with team members, and, and devised solutions. Ideally, we were able to produce a paper that we believe will be useful in future. So now let's have a look at the diagrams which give a brief information about how we used in our project. So this is a context flow diagram. We used context flow diagram to have an overview as a general idea of how a system would interact with different subsystems that exist in our system. We added entities and processes to have a high level diagram. Moving on to the next slide, this is our class diagram. So in our class diagram is the first step towards object-oriented modeling. With this diagram, you can describe the structure of a system by showing the system's classes, their attributes, methods, and the relationship among objects. We have added all the necessary classes and identified their attributes. And after that, we have added all the methods in part B of our project. Moving on to the our entity relationship diagram. So in ERD describes interrelated things of interest in a specific domain of knowledge. In this diagram, we added all the entity types of specific relationships that can exist between them. So this diagram defines a data or a information structure which can be implemented in a database, typically a relational database. For each one of the entities, we should create a table in our database.
For our design, we tried to keep it simple and accessible. This figure that you see is to create and answer a new survey. People who want to buy a product or get a product that suits their needs the best can answer the survey and get the results that they need. Let's look on to the next figure. In figure 2, they have the ability to update or change the surveys they have completed before. They see the questions they have answered and they see a choice to change the answer. Let's look at our last figure. On the last figure, we see the settings of the user. In this part, user can enter anything specific to his field and make the search more consistent with their needs. If we wanted to do it again, we would add some new features like online chat support, direct buy from the app itself also. We would use better technologies for our system and maybe add some machine learning to automate everything better and understand the people's choices so that surveys and filters would give out more accurate results. We would like to broaden our search by adding search functions for more products. We would add a React Native application for better accessibility of users. We would also use Amazon Web Service as our cloud service for better performance and reliability.
The next steps after securing funding would be to actually work on the source code, to build a program based on the analysis and designs that we have worked on so far. While we code, we would also encounter issues in the program, which we would need to debug. After completing the source code, fixing critical bugs, and having a working program, we would test all its functionalities and also get feedback regarding the ease of use of the application for last-minute improvements. Then we would be confident enough to deploy the program and get feedback from the community of users. These steps mentioned ahead should be an incremental and iterative process to keep upgrading the program according to the needs of the users, to grow the user base, which could serve as a basis for monetization with digital ad exposure that will keep investors and relevant stakeholders engaged.